Howard Walter Gilmore was a submarine commander in the United States Navy who received the Medal of Honor posthumously for his heroic self-sacrifice during World War II. Early life and career. Howard Gilmore was born in Selma, Alabama, September 29, 1902 and enlisted in the Navy November 15, 1920. In 1922, he was appointed to the United States Naval Academy by competitive examination, standing 34 in a class of 436. Gilmore was commissioned in 1926 and reported to the battleship USS Mississippi. Gilmore underwent submarine training in 1930 and in the years that followed served in various submarines and its stations ashore. Gilmore served as the executive officer of USS Shark, and in a near-fatal incident during Shark's shakedown cruise, narrowly survived an assault by a group of thugs in Panama who cut his throat during an excursion ashore. He had to deal with several other instances of tragedy in his life, including the death of his first wife from disease, and at the time of his Medal of Honor action his second wife was still in a coma from a fall she had taken down a flight of stairs. In 1941, he assumed his first command, USS Shark SS 174, only to be transferred the day following the attack on Pearl Harbor to take command of the still unfinished USS Growler. World War II. Gilmore commanded his submarine skillfully during 4 Pacific War patrols. During his first, on 5 July 1942, Growler attacked 3 enemy destroyers off Kiska, sinking 1 and severely damaging the other 2, while narrowly avoiding 2 torpedoes fired in return, for which Gilmore received the Navy Cross. On his second patrol, Growler sank 4 merchant ships totaling 15,000 tons in the East China Sea near Taiwan. Gilmore received a Gold Star in lieu of the Second Navy Cross. In October 1942, Growler patrolled off of Truk in the Caroline Islands in a repositioning of submarine assets on the way to Brisbane, Australia. No significant action occurred. 4th Patrol and Medal of Honor action. The submarine continued to take a heavy toll on shipping on her 4th war patrol, and on the night of 6–7 February 1943, she approached a convoy stealthy for a surface attack. Suddenly a convoy escort, Hayasaki, closed and prepared to ram. As the small ship charged out of the darkness, Gilmore sounded the collision alarm and shouted, "Left full rudder." To no avail. Perhaps inadvertently, Growler hit the Japanese adversary amidships at 17 knots, heeling the submarine 50 degrees, burning 18 feet of her bow sideways to port, and disabling the forward torpedo tubes. Simultaneously, the Japanese crew unleashed a burst of machine gun fire at Growler's bridge, killing the junior officer of the deck and a lookout, while wounding Gilmore himself and 2 other men. "Clear the bridge," Gilmore ordered as he struggled to hang on to a frame. As the rest of the bridge party dropped down the hatch into the conning tower, the executive officer, Lieutenant Commander Arnold Shade, shaken by the impact and dazed by his own fall into the control room, waited expectantly for his captain to appear. Instead, from above came the shouted command, "Take her down." Realizing that he could not get below in time if the ship were to escape, Gilmore chose to make the supreme sacrifice for his shipmates. Shade hesitated briefly, then followed his captain's last order and submerged the crippled ship, surfacing some time later in hope of re-attacking the Hayasaki. Shade found the seas empty. The Japanese ship had, in fact, survived the encounter, but there was no sign of Gilmore, who apparently had drifted away in the night. Shade and Growler's crew managed to control the ship's flooding and limped back to Brisbane on February 17. For sacrificing himself to save his ship, Commander Howard Gilmore was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the second man of the submarine force to be so decorated. World War II Summary. Medal of Honor citation, for distinguished gallantry and valor above and beyond the call of duty as commanding officer of the USS Growler during her fourth war patrol in the Southwest Pacific from the 10th of January to the 7th of February 1943. Boldly striking at the enemy in spite of continuous hostile air and anti-submarine patrols. COMDR. Gilmore sank one Japanese freighter and damaged another by torpedo fire, successfully evading severe depth charges following each attack. In the darkness of night on the 7th of February, an enemy gunboat closed range and prepared to ram the Growler. COMDR. Gilmore daringly maneuvered to avoid the crash and rammed the attacker instead, ripping into her port side at 11 knots and bursting wide her plates. In the terrific fire of the sinking gunboat's heavy machine guns, COMDR. Gilmore calmly gave the order to clear the bridge, and refusing safety for himself, remained on deck while his men preceded him below. Struck down by the fusillade of bullets and having done his utmost against the enemy in his final living moments, COMDR. Gilmore gave his last order to the officer of the deck: take her down. The Growler dived, seriously damaged but under control. She was brought safely to port by her well-trained crew, inspired by the courageous fighting spirit of their dead captain. Even today, "take her down" remains one of the legendary phrases of the U.S. submarine force. Popular culture. Howard Gilmore's sacrifice inspired 4 different authors and screenwriters. In the historical notes section, Epilogue of War and Remembrance, how Gilmore is recognized by the death of Carter Astor as based on the famous self-sacrifice of Commander Howard W. Gilmore of the USS Growler, for which he was posthumously awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor. In the movie Operation Pacific, John Wayne's character as executive officer of US Thunderfish orders Thunderfish submerged, leaving his wounded commanding officer on the bridge. In the movie Submarine Command, on the last day of World War II, William Holden's character as executive officer of US Tiger Shark orders Tiger Shark submerged while under attack from a Japanese destroyer, leaving his wounded commanding officer on the bridge. In the movie U-571, Bill Paxton's character LT, CMDR, Mike Dahlgren orders LT Andrew Tyler to take down the captured German U-boat. Tyler complies, leaving his wounded commanding officer in the waters. Other posthumous honors. In September 1943, the submarine tender US Howard W. Gilmore was named for him and sponsored by his widow. A cenotaph photo of Stone can be found in Commander Gilmore's memory, and honor was placed by Ed Shields, Ward Calhoun, and the Lauderdale County Department of Archives and History, Inc. at Magnolia Cemetery, Meridian, Mississippi, in the Howard family plot. His mother's maiden name was Howard.